Wait, you two! Just a moment, please. You're the Traveler in Paimon, right? I thought you two looked familiar. People have been talking all about you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Do you have a moment? There's something I'd like to discuss with you. My name is Nabil. I'm a Matra in the Academia. You're friends with Cyno, right? I've heard him mention you before. Currently, Cyno is out investigating a case involving smuggled canned knowledge. It's been days since we've last heard from him.
Oh no. Do you think he's in trouble?
Well, to be completely honest, it's pretty hard to imagine anything that could pose a threat to Cyno. But since we haven't heard from him, we're starting to suspect that the case might be more complicated than we had originally thought. Word has it that you two are brave, smart, and extremely capable adventurers. Do you think you could lend us a hand and help investigate the smuggling?
All right. Since you asked so nicely, we'll help.
Large amounts of canned knowledge from unknown origins have been appearing on the market recently. Cyno suspected that there's a secret route being used to move the capsules. According to some research, using large amounts of canned knowledge could lead to some serious consequences. And unfortunately, most people have yet to realize that. Rumors also have it that some particularly dangerous canned knowledge has made its way into the market. Regardless of whether the rumors are true or not, this case calls for urgent action. Last we heard from Cyno, he was investigating somewhere outside Sumeru City. It seems that he had found some leads at the time, but we haven't heard from him since.
Sounds like we better go look for him. Come on! Cyno! There you are! We finally found...
Ah, it's you two. I'm very busy at the moment. We'll have to chat some other time.
That's right! Nabil asked us to...
So Nabil told you about this? Divulging my location... I see. Well, the situation might be more problematic than you anticipated. Long story short, I was able to learn of the secret location where the canned knowledge is being sold. You're welcome to accompany me if you're interested.
Whoa. Sounds pretty complicated. But having a chance to catch bad guys with Cyno, it's all right. Sign us...
Is this all you got? Seems even less than last time.
What difference does it make? If you see something you like, buy it. If not, then keep walking.
They've been cracking down on us lately, so we don't have much on hand. If you see something that catches your eye, then now's your chance. There's no telling when we'll have more.
What does the Academia think they're doing? All right, I'll take these here. Let me see what else you have. I don't see any real gems in this batch. It's all pretty ordinary stuff. Whatever, how much do I owe you?
150K. Show us the Mora, and you'll get the goods.
Put the Mora down and your hands up.
It's Cyno. When's he ever gonna let it?
Hey, forget the goods. Let's split.
But don't forget the Mora!
Dun-dun! Not so fast! You can't escape with Paimon on the case!
What is this? He's got backup now? Doesn't everyone say Cyno works alone? I don't like the looks of this. Either way, it's gonna be a tough...
It's over. It's not like we're making a big cut anyway.
Huh? Did they really
Just like the others I've caught. They're not deep in the circle, just dealers at the bottom of... All right. I have one question and one question only. Where did you get this canned knowledge?
The pickup location is different every time. The boss tells us where it's gonna be and that's it. We don't get a say in it. He sends...
And when is the next...
I don't know.
He's telling the truth. Honest. Normally, we should have received a shipment 3 days ago. But we didn't get... The stock we have right now is from 8 days ago. Which is why there isn't much left.
I know exactly why they didn't receive their last batch. I suspect who's ever running this whole thing knew that I was coming. When you were trying to escape, you said something...
Are you kidding? We've known your name since day one in this business. The boss warned us to watch out and even gave us info about you. But here we are.
They already knew all about me and were trying to avoid... These small fries are the only ones they leave out in the open. If only we had another lead. Like a
Huh? Oh, you mean someone like Dur...
Do you have a potential...
Woo!
That's right. I won't turn...
Oh! Sounds like we shouldn't ever let Cyno meet Dory.
I see. Anyway. Well, if you manage to learn anything, you can... And as for you, I don't ever want to catch you buying canned knowledge again.
Okay, I got it. Just keep your nose out of my business.
Hey! What's with the...
What, you got a problem with that too? Listen, buying canned knowledge is a... Think about it. If the academia is hoarding something as convenient and useful like canned knowledge, then they must have been planning only to use it for themselves.
The academia has clearly published the potential dangers of canned knowledge. I just hope you understand that your actions are what fuels the smuggling of... If I ever catch you again... All right, Traveler.
Ha! You think you can scare me?
Traveler, why don't we go talk to Dory? She's got loads of... If Paimon remembers correctly, she's usually...
Speak with the butler if there's something you need.
I see. So that's the latest scoop. Good thing you didn't rat me out. Otherwise, who knows where I'd have to be hiding to avoid attention. No idea. Sorry. I've already cashed out of the canned knowledge business. Huh? You mean you stopped selling it? That's right. With so much canned knowledge flooding the market, it was becoming impossible to fetch decent prices anymore. Besides, it seems that group of smugglers has practically taken over the market. It's a little rule of mine to never fight for a share of someone else's market. If I'm gonna make Mora, it's gonna be the lion's share. Plus, with regulations getting as tight as they are now, I figured I might as well just hang it up. Sounds like we came all this... Well, not completely. Granted, I don't know who's behind all the smuggling activity, but since you didn't sell me out, I'll let you in on what I do know. After all, those smugglers have really crossed the line, butting their way into the market like that. I hope their luck runs out soon so that I can take over. I mean, so that the industry can become more fairly regulated.
Hey, you just want to make more business for yourself.
Don't underestimate its value. Think about it. You can gain all sorts of knowledge while bypassing the troublesome process of studying. Naturally, that makes it a product worth a high price. Of course, not everyone needs that kind of knowledge, but in a market as big as Sumeru, there is plenty of demand. Plus, the cost of production is relatively low, so even if dealers have to cover transportation...
Then why does the academia prohibit...
Being able to gain complex knowledge and become a scholar with the snap of your fingers does sound like a dream, doesn't it? But everything in the world comes at a price, right? Gaining knowledge is a complicated process. It requires learning, thinking, and practice. Even when it comes to my own business, I have to go through a lot of preparation before I put anything out for sale. But with canned knowledge, one may simply skip all the hassle and get whatever they need to know immediately. That inherently leads to at least two potential problems. First, you'll accept the knowledge as factual without a second thought, and you'll find it very hard to forget. This means that if the knowledge is flawed, then it'll be very difficult to correct. And second, excess use of knowledge capsules over an extended time diminishes your ability to think. You'll end up becoming like a library that can only store knowledge.
Oh, that does sound pretty dangerous. Traveler, you used canned knowledge before. Did you feel any negative effects?
Of course, using it sparingly is not an issue, which is exactly why I used to sell it. It's just like how medicine can be used to cure diseases, but can also do harm when overused. It all comes down to balancing the right amount. Anyway, back to the point. There'll be consequences if the sale of canned knowledge by those smugglers, and what's worse, you're playing right into their hands by focusing only on the canned knowledge that's made its way into the market. As far as I know, their real purpose is to distribute information about the Court of Desolation. That's where...
The Court of Desolation?
Rumor has it that it's a site of ruins from the age of King Deshret. It's said that with the treasures inside, one can see beyond life and death. But any research of the ruin... Word on the street is that there'll be an auction taking place in the desert. They're auctioning rare can... Once I heard about the auction, I began to suspect that all the canned knowledge popping up on the market is just a diversion. I'd wager that their real target is the Court of Desolation. Because studying those ruins is not just a simple matter. It requires knowledge spanning several fields. As for the auction, chances are they're trying to attract and scout out any... On the other hand, no one can say for sure that they will ever succeed in finding the Court of Desolation. So, they might as well just make a fortune while they're at it by hyping up the related canned knowledge at the auction.
Sounds to Paimon like we better head to the
That's right. And now that I've shared all that valuable info with you, it's time to introduce our limited edition desert travel kit. It comes complete with a map straight to the auction location. As I said, I also have to make preparations before I sell things, right? Now, let me I've got it. 500,000 mora per kit. That's quite the bargain. We'll even offer a 50% discount for little Paimon's travel kit. Only 250,000 mora.
What? That's super expensive!
No need to worry, little one. Cyno's the one heading this investigation, isn't he? All you'll need to do is tell him to go to the Merchants Guild and pay the bill once the mission is completed. Just, be sure to not send him directly here, though, okay? I'm sure the General Mahamatra of the Academia would never leave any debt unpaid. And I can only imagine the funds he's allocated for investigations. Oh, maybe I should charge him more.
We'd better get going. If Dory keeps at it, we'll be out of mora.
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very...
If we could replace that mean old... So Fontaco is It ruined Paimon. If we were on the got news for you. With the smug, they're hosting an auction in
The Court of Desolation. I won't ask how you came by this intel. But is it reliable?
We also heard that the Court of Desolation contains treasures from the
Partially. It was a secret place built by a dark sect from the age of King Desh. According to past research, one must forfeit their life as the price of entering. They are not some ordinary ruins, so the Academia has strictly prohibited any related research. However, if they are using the canned knowledge as a way to move information and recruit researchers, then I suppose your conclusion does hold some validity. Less in recent years, but there are always those who, after all, legends claim that death is often the greatest grievance for many people. Though they're fully aware, that's why some continue to research it, regardless of it being a restricted subject. On top of that, do you know where the auction is taking place? Good. We'll go investigate.
Huh?
That's right. Let's begin to leave town and see what happens. Don't worry.
That's Cyno for ya. But we can lend a hand too, you know.
Hold it right there. Heading to the desert, are we? I would think twice if I were you. That doesn't matter. All you need to know is that someone wishes— you must be Cyno. I've heard a lot about you. You've got quite a reputation. But this time— and as for you two, why bother sticking your noses in trouble that doesn't—
That's right! We won't—
Ha! Have you really thought it through? My employer said that he's willing to compromise as long as you just walk away. He could, for example. On top of that, he's willing to give you a cut of the profit. So you see—
Is that so? Well, I can't think of a reason why I'd accept. I've heard it.
Sorry, no can do.
That's close enough.
Quiet now. Things are about to get dicey.
Nowhere to run!
You are not welcome here. Lucky today.
Gotcha. Game's up. Fun's over.
Your sins weigh upon your soul!
You're in over your head, son. Let's get out of here.
No need. Even if we apprehend them, I apologize for bringing— You should be careful from now.
Wait, hold on! There's no way anyone could sleep without closing their eyes.
You'd be surprised. Anyway, just be careful. Mercenaries are never— They may even stay hidden in some dark corner for a very long time. Waiting. For the right— Yes. I was carrying out a mission with one of my superiors. I didn't have much experience at the time. My superior was injured while protecting me, and we struggled.
Whoa! Who could have seen—
He survived with a fractured wrist. It took 2 months for him to recover. But luckily— His name is Taj Radkani, a very well-respected Matra. Anyway, our—
Don't worry, Paimon will stay alert. We'll see danger coming on—
Good. And once this is all over—
some shape for us to cool off on.
We still have a long way to go, so you'll need to hang in. Of course, but I'm accustomed. Just try to stay focused. Use your will, take one step after another. Don't let your...
Okay, just look around. It's just sand and desert. There aren't any monsters for miles around.
Watch out.
Here comes the catch.
See? Shot's over!
Those weren't just normal see? There are marked numbers on their pincers. They were raided. Someone doesn't want us to show up at the auction. We are surrounded by desert as far as the eye can see.
This place is super dangerous.
Something's not right. There are no... Stay still. Here's the answer. It must...
Huh? What?
A miniature tracking device made by the Ksharawar. But this device wasn't licensed for mass production.
Whoa! Paimon never knew that kind of thing.
They probably planted it on the Traveler during our fight with the mercenaries earlier. It was a frantic fight.
Well, good thing you were able to find it, son.
No. Hold on to it. Let's keep heading to the auction.
They're back again! How many of them are there?
Water jet!
Quietly now.
Weird. Is this where the auction is? Yeah, not as...
We didn't waste any time getting here after we defeated those mercenaries. But even so, they still knew we were coming.
Aw, what should we...
We searched the area. They couldn't have moved all the knowledge capsules.
All right, let's do...
Did you find anything?
No, nothing in particular.
It's possible there weren't many knowledge capsules contained, but don't worry. I have another idea. You two start heading. Come back and meet me here after some time has passed. I'm sure something will come up. They packed up in a hurry and didn't have time to carry off all their goods. Once they think we've left the premises, they'll be back to pick up their belongings. We just need to make...
Oh, Paimon get... Okay, we'll start...
Yes, and don't worry.
Let's light it up!
So you're the bad guy behind all this, aren't ya? All right, tell Paimon.
I didn't act immediately when he showed up. He is not the primary instigator, but he—
Yes, impressive. You certainly live up to your reputation, Cyno.
Huh? Great.
Once everyone knew you were coming, all the canned knowledge dealers abandoned their goods. Since all the goods were just left here unsupervised, I thought I'd use the opportunity to come back and take what I could. You know.
You must know who's manufacturing
No, I'll talk. But before that, if we stay here, chances are that someone will see me with you.
All right. Where—
How about my home in Aru Village?
Fine. Let's head out. You can throw away the—
Listen, buddy, you better not try to trick us.
Come on now. Do you really think I'd try to pull anything under Cyno's watch? Seriously, what can I even do?
Dad, you're back! Oh, we have guests?
This is my daughter, Simin. Why don't you run along now, dear?
Oh, okay.
Everyone knows Cyno in our business, but let me ask, who are you two?
Paimon is Paimon, and this—
To be honest, I really didn't expect to see Cyno, the lone operator, working with any partners. When I saw the tracker start moving, but even though you caught me, I'd still urge you to stop while you still can.
Why is that?
Everything from the manufacturing of canned knowledge to the sales and even splitting the profits. Every step of everyone will try their best to defend this industry that we've worked to build. It will be a long and difficult fight. And even if you manage to win in the end, no one will thank you. If anything,
Everyone has their own reasons for what—
Here's some tea, Dad. And for the guests, too.
Right. I forgot to offer tea to our guest.
Don't mention it. I should tell you that our tea tastes kind of bitter, but I put some sugar in to make it a little tastier.
That's my girl. Do we still have any sugar left? If not, I'll buy some more next time.
Yes, we do. Okay. I'm gonna go have a rest now.
Didn't you say that everyone's in it for the massive profits? That sure doesn't seem to—
Actually, my daughter was born with a chronic disease, so she has a relatively weak heart and lungs. Even slightly strenuous exercise can cause her to— That's why she never really had any friends to play with, and why she— As for me, I was just an average merchant. I would wake up early and travel all around to make a profit. But the Mora was still— Until one day, someone reached out and showed me a way to—
Selling canned knowledge.
That's right. With all the Mora I made, I could finally afford medical treatment. There are many others like me. Smuggling canned knowledge might— I wanted to tell you all this so that maybe you could understand and change your mind. Please.
Oh no. That means that if we prevent the sale of canned knowledge, his daughter—
I must get to the truth. I can find someone to help treat your child, but I cannot turn a blind eye to the smuggling. These are two completely different issues.
I somehow knew you would say that. But having your word to help my daughter— You'll find some goods I received just recently.
Whoa! Look at all of—
Yes. All neatly packed away. Small producers couldn't possibly support such a large quantity of goods.
Huh? Look! These seem different from the other knowledge capsules we've seen.
Yes, that would make sense. Wait, what's this? Yes, it's a Matra seal, indicating that the goods have passed Matra inspection. I started to suspect that someone in the academia might be involved when I found the tracker earlier. The pieces have now all fallen into place. With this No wonder they don't want me to investigate. It turns out that a Matra. Could I ask you for a favor, Since all this canned knowledge came from the academia, then it's highly likely that the knowledge regarding. If we can enter the repository, but considering my current status, you'll need to be the one who checks the records.
Sure thing. Leave.
I'll also keep working here in the meantime. Although our leads are all current, we can get more information on other dealers from Bahari. I'll stay.
Hello? Have you managed to find... I read the letter and must admit that I hadn't expected...
It's all right. We...
Even I don't usually have authorization to enter. But with it, that's right. Granted, However, some forms of research have proven to be so dangerous that the mock... But some information... Follow me. I'll show you.
The restricted repository.
Okay, since Cyno is vouching for you, I suppose we can trust you. You may browse the information regarding, but I'd suggest avoiding any other research files.
So this is the restricted repository. I never thought I'd see the inside of it. This is a first for both you and...
There are many who do not openly converse with others within the academia. But even so, there are very few who I feel could be trusted with a real... Even though he's no longer in the academia, I still trust... The files are over there. Just make it quick.
Whoa, there's a lot to read here. Have you found anything yet? Huh, it reminds Paimon of Cyno's former partner.
His former partner? That would be Taj Radkani. But you're not far off. Mortada Radkani was Taj's only son.
What? Taj's son went to prison for...
Why do you sound so surprised? You're...
It's just that they arrested him in secret, so it was never publicly known. All I knew was that Taj's son was taken to prison. It's not just me. I bet even Cyno didn't.
No. Unfortunately, there isn't. You've heard about Taj, right? I know Nabil has. I would say he's probably pushing 50 this year, which makes him one of the most experienced Matra. He used to be Cyno's only partner. Taj is also skilled with the polearm.
Ah, right. I heard Cyno mention that before. But I wonder if it had anything to do with the
Taj was already very well known by the time So when Mortada came to study at the academia, and he had an unpleasant dispute with his father. But they were eventually able to work things out. Not long after they had Taj arrested his son and put him behind bars. Shortly after, Mortada slit his own throat with the pieces of a broken bowl. Since then, Taj has been periodically coming to the repository. He'll hold the files from his son's research with a remorseful look on his face.
I had no idea that.
That's awful. Paimon...
Wait, don't tell me you're starting to suspect Taj now. Impossible. Taj would never do that. I mean, yes, but this is Taj we're talking about.
But if you claim that the canned knowledge was originating from the Academy because he was the only one who could have recently gone through research, there are so many files about those ruins that it would be difficult to restart. However, if the files were made into canned knowledge, they could be understood immediately.
But even so...
According to the legends, the treasures inside the Court of Desolation could allow someone to see though I don't really believe Taj would ever try to do something like that. I'm just telling you what I know. It's the job of the Matra to find the truth and track down. Do you have any questions?
Paimon's kinda confused.
Oh, now that I think about it, Cyno suspected that the canned knowledge was coming from within the Academy. There's no way so many boxes could ever get through without drawing any attention. Don't worry, Taj.
Alrighty then, let's go ask around.
Excuse me, have you seen any large...
No, not that I'm aware.
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods?
Huh. Well, yes, but the Academia consumes so many resources each day. Everything from...
Right, but...
That I'm not too sure of.
Excuse me, have you seen any large...
Huh?
I'm just checking to ensure nothing unusual...
Well, I can't say it's There's a Kashar researcher who's been making frequent shipments. When I asked him about it, he said they just contained a bunch of old worn-out machines. The Kashar used to often sell scrap machines to traveling merchants, so I didn't really think anything of it. But he's been making a lot of shipments lately.
And you didn't find that system?
Well, the boxes were stamped with the Matra seal. Why should I bother? Of course, I did start to wonder about the seal once, thinking that maybe they forged it or something. But you know what happened? A man named Taj came here and told me that he'd already inspected the goods personally and ordered me to...
Impossible. There must be some sort of mistake. There's no way Taj would have... No, I won't believe it. Taj is an honorable man. Someone must be... Wait, I know another Matra who works with Taj. I can ask him to let us speak with Taj.
As I've already told you, I don't have any way to contact Taj. A few Eremites showed up looking for Taj yesterday, and he met with them in his office. I was standing outside of the door, and I vaguely heard them say, "Found it." Before I realized it, the door opened, and Taj left with the group of them. I noticed it, but Taj didn't come to work today, so I've also started to feel a little concerned about the whole thing. If you'd like to speak with him, maybe you can try...
A group of Eremites? Could Taj really...
No way. Taj is just like Cyno. They're considered heroes among the Matra. There's no way that he would... Fine. Looks like there's...
Hey, don't let it get to you just yet. We'll get to the bottom of this once and...
So, this is Taj's place.
Well, what should we do then?
No. Well, anyway, we're still not sure if he's the real culprit. Probably not a good idea to go in without permission. You're right. Even if we apply for a warrant now, we won't be able... What's this?
It's a paper full of names written on it. Oh, and a map. Nabil,
Yes. This is definitely... These are the transactions between Taj and some other people. From the look of the number, the whole operation involves more than 300 people, including dozens of celebrities. I have a feeling that Cyno might be unaware of what he's up against. There's no way anyone could face such a large organization on their own. You're right. As for the map, it appears to indicate the location of the Court of Desolation. If Taj really has turned on his honor and committed these terrible acts, I don't want to suspect him, but I also don't know him very well.
all right. We'll give these to Cyno. Well, Cyno?
Taj, from what I remember, he is a straight-laced man. Although he would resort to...
So do you think he's the one behind?
I'm still not sure. I cannot imagine how devastating the incident with Mortada was for him. Nor can I deny the possibility that people can change. Whether it's out of love for his son or for other reasons, we have to see for ourselves to judge him. Or rather, the person he's become. That's right. It's clear that he had a hand in this case, yet he made no report of it. That's also why I need to see him. I must ask his reasoning and judge. Time is ticking.
Time to go lamb to the...
Busted. Game's up. Fun's over.
Win it! Go!
Take that!
Quietly now.
Take that!
Here comes the catch.
Higher, higher, pants on fire! See? This isn't good.
Spread your wings and raise a storm! Where do you think you're going? Quietly now. Game's up. Fun's over.
Is it my time?
Stand back! Goodbye. But we'll meet again.
Jackpot.
Busted.
What is the situation?
So this is the Court of Desolation. Are there really any treasures buried here? Oh, Paimon's kinda nervous. Could it be dangerous?
Don't worry. You'll be safe with me.
Look! These walls have definitely seen better days. Was there some sort of fight here? Let's keep going and see what we can find. Whoa! Is it just Paimon? Or did that passageway just rotate? It's not gonna start moving again, is it? Either way, we should be careful.
Busted.
A passage! Hopefully that's our way in.
Things are about to get dicey.
Nowhere to run! Judgment is upon us!
Ah, Cyno. It's been some time since I've seen you last. I trust you are doing well. Seeing that you've made it all the way here, you must be on the cusp of wrapping up your investigation, I presume. Even faster than I expected.
That's right. This case is nearly closed. But the most important answer still eludes me. Was it all your doing?
Yes, it was me.
Then explain why.
That's the difficult part. Let's just say I've changed.
I find that hard.
Oh, really? Way I see it, every person will end up like me sooner or later. When you're young, you press forward, unattached, living solely for the justice in your heart. I was the same. I never questioned my actions until Murtada died. I could feel the justice that I once strived to uphold slow. I was completely dedicated to all that I did, but as I grew older, I found myself feeling alone. Murtada was sent to prison by my own hands. I set myself on this painful path. My son, I failed him as a father. But now I have a chance to make it right. A chance to reunite with him. The Court of Desolation. Here lies the key to overcome.
So, did...
See this door behind me? I'm so close, Cyno. If only you hadn't...
Enough conjecture. What has happened in the end? The treasures you seek are...
Since you're so sure, why don't you just let me open the door and see then?
No. I sense danger behind that door. There will be dire...
I beg you, as an old partner, can you let me fulfill... Surely you get it by now. Doing your job without mercy will only drive people away from you. I'm the prime example.
I don't overthink things. If there is only one way for me to defend my principles, then that is the...
Seems there's no convincing you. All right then. Let's see if your polearm skills have improved at all. This power is mine!
Quietly now. Ha! Game's up. Fun's over.
Surrender!
As I thought.
Your strength.
You feel it, don't you? I'm stronger than... This is only a taste of it.
Uh-oh. We have...
I won't let you open that door.
I wouldn't be so sure. I'm afraid it won't be easy to stop me.
I'll do what I
still remember when we first became partners. Even after all this time, you still haven't changed.
You haven't changed either. You left that list of names. All of this was just part of the act you were put. I had my suspicions from the beginning, but I couldn't be sure until we fought. If he really had changed...
Huh? What do you mean?
He never planned on opening the door.
What's happening?
Seems our time is running short. Let me make this quick then. After Murtada died, my spirit was crushed. That is when I was approached by someone who wished to collaborate and find people from every walk of life are involved. They are relentless in their search, pouring countless...
No wonder banning the research wasn't enough.
I'm a flesh and blood human like anyone else, so I obviously hesitated and considered it. I suddenly came to a realization amidst my suffering. The Court of Desolation, a place that once drove people to tragedy, was still doing so. As long as this place exists, people will recklessly seek it out, just as Mortada did, generation after generation. Regardless of the cost, let it be buried beneath the sand forever. Once the Court of Desolation is gone, there will no longer be anyone obsessed with seeking it out. That's right. I acted as if I had abandoned my convictions just so that they would cooperate without but that wasn't enough. I needed someone I could trust to bring the organization to justice. To add to the problem, the organization is so powerful that they even have members work.
So, you pretended...
Yes. I'm sorry. Anyway, this place is collapsing. You must leave.
Wait! Aren't you leaving too?
His fate is already sealed. There is no life left inside him. He is like a candle. He planned it all from the very beginning, risking being treated as a traitor to collaborate with them.
Regardless, I made a grave mistake. I was always so busy with finding this place was his biggest wish. Since I'll be reuniting with him here, I can only hope he won't have anything more to hold against me. I'll leave all those people on the list to you.
There's nothing to be sorry for. If you see Mortada, say...
Dad, why are they so strict with me? I'm always the only one who gets in trouble.
Just leave me alone! Don't worry, I won't damage your precious reputation.
All right, Dad. Let's start over. By the way, I finally found an area of research I wish to pursue. Why can't you show even a little leniency? Why?
Because we are Matra.
The Court of Desolation has...
Just as Taj said, that place had come. Being buried in quicksand is its rightful end. To them, as long as there's more to be made, their only goal is to make massive profits off of dangerous research. That's an opportunity.
We'll help too.
Thank you, but just leave the rest to me. I will bring... So, that's what I'm going to do.
we meet again. Thank you so much for all your help.
Nabil, what are you doing?
Convicts from the desert are being escorted through Caravan Ribat, so I'm here to keep an eye on things. And this should be the last group of them, so I'll be The last few days have been quite the ride, but fortunately, at first, the mercenary groups on the list were putting up quite a fight. They made several desperate attempts to cover up the truth. After that, people on the list started to put pressure on the higher-ups within the academia.
And? Then what?
Well, then we received word that Taj Rudkani had sacrificed himself on the case. The news really stirred up the members of our ranks. The Matra then moved together against the enemy. We cleared out the traitors from within the academia and arrested all the researchers on the list. Some of them managed to get out of the academia, but still failed to escape. The scattered criminals were captured by Cyno. I even heard that someone was about to escape to Fontaine, but was still apprehended just at the border. Having more than 300 prisoners apprehended for interrogation has...
Is Cyno alright? He didn't get injured, did
He seems fine, but he brought over 300 suspects to judgment all on his own. Among them were even some of our former colleagues. Not just the criminals are afraid of him. But even if we start feeling all self-conscious, thinking if we've done anything wrong, we're still always honored to have Cyno around. By the way, are you guys here to see Cyno? He was walking with someone I didn't recognize, and then before I knew it...
Sure thing, Nabil.
Don't worry about me.
Trying to single-handedly bring 300 people to justice must feel pretty exhilarating, but I can assure you...
I'm aware. However, I learned something unexpected during interrogation. Apparently, Mortada had lived in his father's shadow all his life. After Mortada died, the organ toying with others' minds, treating lives like...
Fine, I understand. This is a type of trap I've been working on which uses plants. Here, if thrown into the mud, the trap will grow rapidly and disperse a pollen that has a paralyzing effect.
Cyno! Tainari! Oh, so Tainari must be who Nabil saw earlier!
That's right. Cyno asked me to collect some medicinal herbs to treat a girl named Semin. I also dropped by just to check for any injuries. He seems to be fine physically, but he looks a little more lonely than I remember. And Cyno, relax. You don't always have to look so serious, you know. Why don't you play...
How is Kale these days?
She's grown a bit taller, but her grades could use some improvement. She still made many mistakes on her last test, even after I had marked all the important content in the book for her. After some time, I plan on having her go outside more. It just so...
Huh? You mean Kale?
I've asked her to host some ad hoc lectures to teach the dangers of canned knowledge. Although we've apprehended all the criminals behind the recent smuggling case, there are So, I decided to ask her to work on increasing knowledge and awareness on the topic.
I will.
If anything else happens, the three of you can find me.
I've already caught those who were preparing to attack you in secret. Even if some criminals did slip through our fingers, they wouldn't know that... It's still not time for me to rest yet. I've been thinking about what Taj said in the Court of Desolation these last few days. I just hope my own change will come slowly. That way, those who see me as their superior, just as I gained courage from my own superiors and my partner. I'll be fine. There are many things I feel better about. Many people want to go to the desert to offer condolences for Taj. But I didn't share details with anyone. One day, I'll gather some flowers that grow in arid desert conditions. And then... By the way, a merchant approached me and requested that I cover the cost of a desert travel kit. 1,250,000 mora. I didn't remember owing anyone mora, especially not that kind of amount. So I arrested the merchant on charges of provocation and disturbing the peace. Do you know anything about this?